Good afternoon, everyone. It's Ben here from Vancouver Gadgets, and we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy S4 this afternoon. Check us out online, vancouvergadgets.ca, on Twitter at vancouvergadgets, email us info@vancouvergadgets.ca. So here it is finally, folks, the Samsung Galaxy S4, definitely one of the most anticipated pieces of technology or phones of the year for sure. And I'm just going to reach over here now and turn the phone on, and a little buzz or vibrate when I do so. Here it comes. I like the little sparkly display startup when it starts. Maybe a little more fancier than an Apple phone, but there we go. And my Samsung is ready to start. Giving it a second just to get going here. There we are. It's doing a little auto updates. Now we've got this phone courtesy of our friends at Samsung Canada and North Strategic. So just right on startup, this phone is running on I believe the Bell LTE network. So it does have an LTE capable card, and it is running on the LTE network when you're not on Wi-Fi. So it's pretty fast and pretty efficient, I must admit. I've been using it for quite a few things. I'm just going to unlock the screen here. And here we are at the home screen for Samsung, the way I've set it up. I always like to go right away up to the top here and put my finger and update my weather. It's currently 18 degrees where I am in North Vancouver, BC. And let's dive right in here. A couple of things I really like looking at when I'm looking at the phone. I like to look at the apps, obviously, right away. And I've got a Gmail account configured in Gmail right here. You can see it cropping up there. Obviously, with this being an Android phone, it's going to be very easy to run any of the sort of Google-based applications and things like Gmail. And the current operating system on this phone is the Android 422 Jelly Bean operating system, just so you know. And so I'm going to drop out of my Google mail here, and just going to hit the home button and go back. Whoops. I'm going to try and jump back out. And just want to talk on this first screen here, some of the things that I've used right off the top. I don't know if any of you like this. I really like Flipboard. And I'm just scrolling around a bit here as I'm using Flipboard on this phone. I'm going to hit Flipboard and have it open up. There we go. Going to scroll through here. You can see all the different things that come up on Flipboard. You can see the Vancouver Gadgets name up there. And I like Flipboard because it really works well on this screen and lots of color. And this screen itself is a 5-inch screen for the Samsung. It's obviously 1080p display. And I really like surfing on this phone just because the color and the screen is so nice to look at. I'm going to drop back out of Flipboard, and I'm going to look at some stuff that I installed myself as well. And I love the Samsung Health feature. And I've set myself up with a pin here. I'm going to log in. Now what the Samsung Health feature is doing for me right now, you can see it there, is I have been tracking my steps. I've set a goal of 10,000 steps for me to walk around. And I'm going to walk around and track my steps throughout the day. I had tracked it yesterday. I was up to about 1,500 and something steps based on all the walking I'd done yesterday. And it's really neat to use the Samsung, the health board as well. There's a number of things here. You see a walking mate, the exercise mate, food tracker, comfort level, weight, and other settings. I'm going to dive into the other settings here. And you can just give you a quick look of what's going on. If we're talking about exercise too, one of the things interesting about this phone that I like definitely is what it weighs. Looking at me picking it up in my hand here, it's only 130 grams, so it's pretty nice to move around. And it's pretty light, I got to admit. I'm strictly an iPhone user, as I've probably told you folks before. I'm always happy to review other products, and I really like Samsung phones. I don't really see it being important that I'm an iOS user, especially when I'm looking at a new product and something from Samsung. I think this phone works extremely well. So not really relevant for me. I'd be happy to switch to this phone. I could probably get a lot of good use out of it. And obviously, if you're looking at the phone here itself, it's quite thin too, and it's thinner than the S3. You can see the power button there on that side. I'm going to point to it right here. Flip it over on its belly. There's the camera. And what we're going to do here, actually, too, is this is how you take the cover off the phone. So I'm just going to do that while I shoot on my iPhone here. Going to pop the top off. Be really gentle. As I'm moving the camera around a bit, you can't see what I'm doing. And here we go. Let's have a look inside of the guts of the phone. There you are. Inside the guts, and you see the SIM sitting there. It's a regular size SIM card. It's not a micro SIM card for this phone. And pardon me, it's actually a Telus SIM, not a Bell SIM. So there's the battery, and quite a nice size battery. It's a 2600 mAh standard battery, basically offering up to 8 hours of time. With internet usage on 3G and LTE cellular networks, like I mentioned before, 10 hours of usage on Wi-Fi, and 11 hours of video playback, 69 hours of audio playback, and 17 hours of talk time, and 300 hours of standby time for this phone. So pretty heady battery usage there. Although I was, like it says, 8 hours of usage time internet here. Looking at my notes, I was pushing the phone pretty good for a while there too, and I actually kept it plugged in my car. I got a cigarette adapter, so there's the adapter right there. And I really like this phone because, you know, as I said, I'm not normally an Android user, but this phone is definitely, I think, the flagship Android phone, particularly the device itself. And you know, with basically a 1.9 gigahertz core processor, that's pretty fast. You know, there's a number of things on here too that really make it stand out in terms of, you know, features. And I'm just going to drop the case back on here, flip her back over. We'll just leave the case kind of tucked off. It should be fine. I have to do a good swipe on the screen to unlock it, which I found a little bit difficult because I thought I might be able to open the phone a little faster without giving it a good push. That's one of the things I noticed. And I'm just going to look at a couple of the apps that I downloaded here. I tried to customize it a bit. I downloaded my Sky Motion weather app, obviously, because I like that weather app. It's a Canadian company. I added the AVG products that we talked about with the folks at AVG a couple weeks ago, particularly their cleaner and tune-up. And I want to have a quick look in the cleaner here because it's really effective. It's only available on Android right now, but if you can see this closely, you can see how I can clean up and optimize this phone. So I can save 50 megabytes of memory space on this phone when I run the cleaner, which is pretty important depending on what you're trying to do. And I like actually setting up the cleaner to run daily on this phone, so I can clean it how I want. And the tune-up, there's my tune-up, it's booting up there. I've got one notification. I'm not going to activate it just yet. I'm going to drop back out, back into apps. There we are. I go over here to that second screen, see my health there. And I'm going to go back to the main screen. Really nice camera on this phone. And, you know, it's one of the things I noticed, but when you've got a great screen like this, it's such a huge advantage to be able to have a nice camera to shoot with. And, you know, I'd recommend using this phone definitely for shooting video. And what I really liked about it too, and it's called the dual shot, and I want to show you the dual shot quickly. So I can actually pull up windows in the dual shot, so you can see my face there. If you see, you can see my face if I try not to zoom in on my face too much. And you're going to see me in the little window there as I'm filming the phone. you can see my hand actually over the camera, because there's the front-facing camera. So there's me in the dual camera there, as I'm looking at you filming on my iPhone, and I can see myself there. You can also see the other photo, so that's actually pretty cool as well. So we'll just set that guy down. And obviously you can do the front-facing camera if and when you need to. It works really, really well. You can see it there on my iPhone. And it films great video as well on this phone. Let's drop out of the camera and we'll turn her back around. And for messaging, same thing. Obviously there's all my texts, and I've been using this phone. And I got all my contacts in there. I haven't added any contacts because this phone's obviously a demo. I go back to the apps, and that's really about it. Again, this is a great